What's up, everybody? Welcome to Devonius' Domain Toy Review. Today, we've got something I've been looking forward to quite a bit. I already did the Mummy Accessory Set by NECA, and today, we're going to be doing the Dracula Accessory Set, the Universal Monsters Dracula Accessory Set. This shit is very cool. Let's get right into it. We've got the front with the Dracula letters. Very cool accessory set. We've got art here by J. Wardell. You can see that right there. And then we've got the big spider on there, and we've got the little Jerusalem cricket in his tiny little coffin. We've got the armadillo down here, right above the Universal Monsters logo. And then we've got this beautiful illustration here of the coffin with Count Dracula's hand coming out there with his ring. And then we've got the possum right there. That's very cool in this really cool, mysterious dungeon. Then we go to the side here. We've got Dracula Accessory Set, and it has Dracula, moonlight coming down on him in his coffin with all the fog. Universal Monsters, NECA, real toys. Then we go to the back here, and it shows you everything you've got. We got Dracula Accessory Set. Right there, we've got the big spider. We've got the possum. We've got the armadillo with the casket in sight, with the mini casket in sight, with the Jerusalem cricket. And then we go over here, and we've got a bunch of bats shrouding to the next page of this back artwork, and it's Dracula with the moonlight shining down on his coffin, all the mist here. And then down here we've got includes coffin, armadillo, possum, spider, Jerusalem cricket, and backdrop. Dracula figure sold separately. Pretty funny story. I actually went to Illinois to get this at a toy store out there, and when I went up there to the counter, the guy actually told me, he was like, just letting you know, Dracula does not come in this. So this is just the accessory set. And I had to be like, yeah, no, don't worry, I know. So just in case you don't know, it says it right down there. And then we got it down here on the side. We've got, that's a very badass shot. We got Dracula coming out of his coffin, shrouded in mist and mystery. Dracula accessory set. And then up here, got the same thing going on just from the side. And then back here is all the boring shit, unless you want to know like who the art director and sculpting and stuff was. So that's pretty cool, I guess. It's always cool to know who's making these toys for us. All right, well, I'm thinking about getting this bad boy out, taking a look at him. Okay, we got him out of the box here. We've got the plastic tomb here for Dracula's tomb. We've got all the little critters and stuff like that there. And then we've also got this backdrop. I'm going to open this bad boy up and take a look at it. Same with the Mummy accessory set. I did not watch any reviews for this. I don't know what this backdrop looks like. So that'll be cool to look at. This is a first time viewing. It is upside down. And wow, look at that. That is very cool. Wow. Very cool backdrop. Got a coffin here. The walls full of webs and dust and dirt and all this crazy shit. So that's a really cool backdrop. You got that there. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's take a look at what we got in the plastic. Let's get them all out. Okay, we got everybody out of the plastic. And here we go. This is going to be cool. So first up here we got this possum. Very good paint. A little bit dirtier here on the bottom. A lot of detailing went into this little guy. Got the tail here. Very, very cool. And then we've got the armadillo. This is very cool. This is not a creature I would have ever imagined to have in a collection. But luckily here we are, staring face to face with an armadillo here on Devonius' Domain toy review. And a lot of cool sculpting, a lot of cool work done here on this little guy. A lot of love was shown to the creatures. of Dracula's castle in Transylvania. And then right here we've got this absolutely fucking gnarly looking spider. If it'll focus. Um, but yeah, this guy just absolutely menacing. Furry, big, red and black accents, huge teeth, huge fangs. I mean, this is not a guy I would want in my house. But I will make an exception for this guy. So we've got that. You see that spider kind of running up the wall in the shrouded in webs whenever Renfield is coming up the stairs in Dracula's castle. Dracula pays no mind to it. It's kind of just a one shot, kind of like, oh, ugh, kind of thing. Much like a lot of these creatures are. And then probably one of my favorite things about this whole set is this Jerusalem cricket with its tiny casket. This is very cool. This is very funny. I was researching this because I was wondering if this was a bee, and apparently I'm not the only person to have the misconception that this was a bee. This is apparently a Jerusalem cricket, which does not come from Jerusalem and is not actually a cricket. It apparently eats decomposing dead things and apparently has a very gnarly bite, which I don't know if that was the reasoning or not to have it as one of Dracula's pets, but, given that Dracula gives quite a nasty bite himself. But that was very interesting to me. Much like the possum, the Jerusalem cricket is native to Southern California and is not native to Europe. So pretty interesting that to think that either of these things would be in Transylvania, in Romania, because that's actually not consistent with where they would be. But considering that this was, where this was shot, these little creatures come from Southern California, and that's why they were in the movie. Also, apparently, back then there was a misconception that possum, since they would often be seen frequenting inside of graveyards and digging, that they would actually dig their way to cadavers and eat them. So I guess that was the reason why one of these creatures was chosen to be put into Dracula's castle, kind of given that, creepy, factoid, I guess, that they believed, that idea. And also, I found out that apparently, I read that back then it was considered like, foul to have like rats on camera. And, considering that in 1931, horror wasn't actually an established genre in Hollywood as of yet, that kind of, like to have a genre that revels in kind of disgusting, scary, horrible shit. It wasn't really established yet, so having a rat in it wasn't really, too desirable, which is weird because Nosferatu came out in 1922. It was like 9 years before this, and that had a lot of rats. So, they were the ones who spread the plague. So I don't really know if that's true or not, but I guess that would make sense. And that's why they were kind of switched out for the possum and the whole thing about the graveyards and stuff like that. And yeah, the Jerusalem cricket, I've also read why this guy has a tiny casket, and I've come across a couple of things. One being that it was like kind of the dark humor of Todd Browning and that it was maybe amusing to people back then. Also that it was supposed to be a giant Jerusalem cricket coming out of a normal sized casket like Dracula would be coming out of, and this was like supposed to be some kind of like giant bug pet for Dracula, which I think is just super crazy and weird. And I'm kind of like, well, if that's the case, why did we not get more about that? But I understand why they wouldn't show more of it, because it's like, well, that kind of takes away the whole excitement of Dracula if there's a giant fucking Jerusalem cricket on the loose. But yeah, if that was what they were going for, it did not convince me. It just looked like a tiny bee inside of a little casket. But yeah, I thought there were a lot of interesting theories as to why that was in the movie, and I love that they included it here. I know a lot of people, when the set came out, were really excited about this particular accessory just because it's kind of a deep cut, and I was glad to find some information about it. Sometimes there's like things in movies that you're just like, I wonder if anyone has the same thought about that. And that was one of the things, and I'm glad that there were other people that actually had that same thought. Well, anyway, hope I've given you some interesting trivia here about some of these little critters. And yeah, giant spiders are just giant spiders. They're cool. Uh, Armadillo was there. I don't really have an explanation as to why the armadillo was there. Um, Other than Dracula's castle is basically just like a zoo. I mean, you can think about it like that. There's just all kinds of critters and bugs going around. Also, I mean, there's lore that vampires can control nature, and that these are just Dracula's pets. You know, he can control humans. He can control animals to do his bidding. So, and he can also turn into different creatures. So, it just makes sense to have a whole bunch of little critters going around his castle. And now to probably the thing that most people like about this set, it's Dracula's coffin. So let's get a look at that here. Okay, so a lot of fine paintwork and splatters there on the coffin. And we've got these cool little things. We've got the handles for the coffin to be lifted. I can't imagine Dracula's going to have anybody lifting this up. I think Dracula prefers to do that work on his own. And we got shackles on the handles on this side, not shackles. And look at the bottom here. Pretty plain, not a whole lot of splatters. We've got TM and Universal Studios NECA 2021 made in China. We open it up. Some like kind of wood painting in there. That looks really cool. That looks good. Same level of detail I always expect from NECA, and they deliver. This looks very, very cool. Looks very awesome. Alright, well now that we've gone over everything here, let's get Dracula out. Let's get him into his coffin. And let's get him with his little critters here. Let's check it out. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, overall, really like this set a lot. I think the backdrop adds a lot more than the Mummy accessory set backdrop adds. And I mean, it literally looks like something straight out of the film. And I can really appreciate that. Like the backdrop has got like a coffin, and you can just assume, oh, that's one of the brides of Dracula's coffins. And then, I mean, got all the little critters you could possibly want. Again, that Jerusalem cricket, that's very awesome. In case you haven't noticed, I've said it like 50 times. I'm Team Jerusalem cricket. Let's go. Added the bat in here for effect. That's really cool. Would have been cool if they maybe added like another bat, but dude, it's okay. We already got a bat. So, and if you got the black and white version of the Dracula, you get another bat. And I'm actually planning on possibly getting the black and white one somewhere down the line. So I'm gonna have two bats. So I really can't complain. That Dracula coming with a lot of different accessories, and obviously having the kind of added gimmick of him being a black and white figure. And got Dracula set up here. Just an awesome set. If you like Dracula, the 1931 classic, the 1931 Universal classic monster film with Bela Lugosi in the starring role of Dracula, then you're gonna probably love this accessory set by NECA. They really knocked it out of the park here. Paid a little bit more than I wanted to probably for this set, but you know what, that's okay. I love Dracula. I think this movie's awesome. I like the character. I think all these little critters are cool. I love accessory sets pretty much from any of the brands that I buy toys from. So this is really great. Well, comment down below. Do you like this set? Do you like Dracula? Do you have this set? Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Devonius out.